Hello and good day, welcome to our YouTube channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview. Book of Habakkuk, Chapter 2. Let's get started now. The Book of Habakkuk is a minor prophetic book in the Old Testament. Habakkuk was a prophet during the reign of King Jehoiakim of Judah, around 605 to 625 BC. The book is composed of 3 chapters and is unique because it is written as a dialogue between Habakkuk and God. Chapter 2 begins with Habakkuk waiting for God to answer his questions about the injustice he sees in the world. God responds to Habakkuk by telling him to write down a vision and make it plain on tablets so that it can be read quickly. The vision that God gives Habakkuk is a message of judgment against the Babylonians, who were a powerful and oppressive nation. The message in chapter 2 is one of faith and patience. God tells Habakkuk to wait for the vision to come to pass, even though it may seem to tarry. The Babylonians were a powerful nation, and it may have seemed impossible for them to fall. However, God assures Habakkuk that the Babylonians will be brought low. The lesson we can learn from the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, is that God's word is trustworthy, even when it seems to be delayed. The Babylonians were a powerful nation, and it may have seemed impossible for them to be defeated. However, God's word was true, and the Babylonians were eventually defeated by the Medes and Persians. One of the day-to-day applications of this teaching is that we should have faith in God's promises, even when they seem impossible. We may face situations in our lives that seem insurmountable, but we should trust that God's word is true. We should hold on to His promises and wait for them to come to pass. Another day-to-day application of this teaching is that we should have patience when waiting for God's promises to be fulfilled. Habakkuk had to wait for the vision to come to pass, even though it may have seemed to tarry. We should do the same when we are waiting for God's promises to be fulfilled. We should have patience and trust that God's timing is perfect. The message in chapter 2 also teaches us about the consequences of pride and arrogance. The Babylonians were a proud and arrogant nation, and they believed that they were invincible. However, God's judgment fell upon them because of their pride. The lesson we can learn from this message is that pride comes before a fall. We should not become proud and arrogant, thinking that we are invincible. Instead, we should humble ourselves before God and recognize that we are dependent on Him. One of the day-to-day applications of this teaching is that we should be humble in our interactions with others. We should not be proud or arrogant, but should instead be humble and kind. We should recognize that we are all dependent on God and that none of us are invincible. Another day-to-day application of this teaching is that we should be aware of the consequences of our actions. The Babylonians were judged because of their pride and arrogance, and we too will face consequences for our actions. We should be mindful of the way we treat others and the decisions we make, knowing that we will be held accountable for them. In conclusion, the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, teaches us about the trustworthiness of God's word, the importance of patience, and the consequences of pride and arrogance. We should have faith in God's promises, even when they seem impossible, and we should be patient when waiting for them to be fulfilled. We should also be mindful of our actions and attitudes towards others, avoiding pride and arrogance, and instead practicing humility and kindness. By applying these teachings to our daily lives, we can grow in our relationship with God and become better examples of His love and grace to those around us. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.